We're continuing on with exponents, and we're dealing with some word problems and some exponents with another exponent in the same problem, and also incorporating exponents into area and perimeter. Classify polynomials by the number of terms. 1 term monomial, 2 binomial, 3 trinomial. 2 or more terms can be classified as a polynomial. Look if the terms are separated by a plus or minus. This is a good way to know when a term ends and when another one begins. Where the plus is, it separates 2 terms. Where the minus is, it also separates 2 terms. For example, 3x to the 4th plus 1, that is 2 terms. So it should be a binomial. Now look at the first example, 3x squared. That has 1 term. We'll call it monomial. The next one, negative 9. It also has 1 term, another monomial. The next one, count 2 terms separated by a minus. We call it binomial. The next 2 more terms, we just separate them with the plus, even though there are more than one variable binomial. The 5th one, 3 terms separated by plus, trinomial. And the last one, 3 terms, trinomial. For monomials, when they're multiplied, look at the bases. If they're the same, then you can just add the exponents. Take whatever number or whatever power it is and just add them if the base is the same. So for example, x to the m times x to the n is equal to x to the m plus n. We added the exponents because the base was the same. Practice problems. Number 1, x to the 7th times x to the 2nd power. Same base, x, just add the exponents. It should be equal to x to the 7 plus 2, which is equal to x to the 9th. And that is the answer. Number 2, 3k to the 2nd power times k to the 9th power. The 3, it just stays the same, is not affected by anything. The exponents are combined. 2 plus 9 is 11. 3k to the 11th. Third one, 4x to the 9th times x to the 3rd. We just add 9 and 3. So we really have 4x to the 12th. Same base, we can add the exponents. Like in the next example, w squared and w to the 12th power should give us w to the 14th power. And the 3 and the 4, we just multiply them, get 12. You can separate them, do the numbers first, and then the exponents, and then combine them in the end. Just know that you're multiplying all the way through. Number 5, x to the 7th times x to the 5th. Combine the exponents. 7 plus 5 is 12. Same thing with number 6. a plus 3 is 11. G to the 11th is the final answer. Number 7, we multiply the numbers. 2 and 4 give us 8. And then we add the exponents. X to the 5th. 8x to the 5th. At the end. 8. Now, when there's a variable and there's no number exponent assigned to it, we just assume that is 1, n to the 1st power. And then together, n to the 1st power times n to the 3rd power is the same thing as n to the 1 plus 3, or in other words, n to the 4th. And the number in front, negative 4, it just stays the same. 9. We're going to rewrite the x's next to each other so we can get the right exponent. X to the 1st times x to the 5th gives us x to the 6th, and the y is separate from the x's. There's only one y, and we just keep that one y. Again, with number 10, we write the x's next to each other. It's just for ease of, just for convenience, really. X to the second times x to the first is the same thing as x to the third. We just added the exponents because the base was the same, and the y's we treat the same way. Same base, we keep it y, and we add the exponents. 1 plus 7 is 8. Final answer, x to the third times y to the 8th. Number 11. We do with the numbers first. 2 and negative 3, we multiply them, we get negative 6. And then the exponents e to the third, because 1 plus 2 is 3. Same base, we kept the base, we added the exponents. And number 12, we multiply the numbers, we get negative 6. And then the exponents 3 and 4, we can add those because the base is the same. Keep that base, which is d, and then we add 3 and 4 and get 7. The final answer is negative 6 times d to the 7th. Now, when there is an exponent and another exponent right next to each other, we just multiply the exponent. In this example, it's asking us to take a squared and then cubing that. That's the same thing as a squared times a squared times a squared. And we know that if the bases are the same and we're multiplying, we can just add the exponents. 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. Here are some practice problems. Number 1, negative 3m to the third power. What we're really doing is we're taking negative 3m and we're multiplying it times negative 3m and another negative 3m, a total of 3 of them. And when this happens, we account for all the negative 3's. There are 3 total. It's just the same thing as saying negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3, which gives us negative 27. And then we count for the m's. There are m, and m. That gives us m cubed. 3 of them. M cubed. Final answer, negative 27 m cubed. 2. Negative 4 times 3. We don't do that right away. We might think of doing that right away, but we have to first evaluate the exponent if we do the correct order of operations. So we leave negative 4 by itself alone for now. And then what we do is we take the term inside the parentheses, 3x to the fourth, and then we square it. So we're really squaring 3 and we're squaring x to the fourth. When we do that, x to the 4 squared is the same thing as x to the 4 times 2. X to the 4 times 2 is x to the 8th. Okay, all I did was just multiply the exponents. 4 times 2. And if we looked at this 3, we can say it is 3 to the first power. And we multiply 1 times 2, we get 2. That's where this 2 comes from. Then we do negative 4 times 3 squared is 9. And then we have x to the 8th after that. Negative 4 times 9 is negative 36. And then we leave x to the 8th power. Number 3. Okay, first leave the 3 alone. Then take negative 5 and square it. That should give us 25. And then take x to the 7th and we square that. That is the same thing as saying x to the 7 times 2. 7 times 2 is 14. We put x to the 14th. 3 times 25 gives us 75. And we have 75x to the 14th. Number 4. We're taking b to the 4th power, and we just multiply 4 times 5 gives us b to the 20th, and then we do the same thing with y. 3 times 5, 15. Number 5, just take the negative 3 and cube it. That should give us negative 27. Take the m and cube it. It gives us m cubed. Take n to the 2nd power, and then to cube that, we just do 2 times 3. That should give us n to the 6th. Number 6, 3 times negative 4. We can't do that right away. We have to first evaluate the exponents. Let's go ahead and clear that. Okay, first, this term right here, this is the important one to do first, because there's an exponent there. We have to cube negative 4. That gives us negative 48. Not negative 48. Negative 64. Okay, and then s, it's to the first power, and then we're going to cube that, so 1 times 3 is 3. Now b, 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, so we've taken care of that term, and we're multiplying that with 3s cubed v to the 5th. To do this, just do the numbers first. 3 times negative 64. That should give us negative 192. And then we do with the s's, when we multiply, they're the same base, we just add the exponents. 3 plus 3 is 6. And then the v to the 5th times v to the 9th, we add the exponents. 5 plus 9 is 14. Negative 192, s to the 6th, v to the 14th. Finding the area of a triangle, length and width. Let's change that length to base and width to height. It's probably a typo. Area of a triangle, we can just write the formula 1/2 base times height. And substitute what we know. Base is 8m cubed squared. And then we're multiplying that with height, which is 8y to the 5th m cubed. We deal with the exponents first. Since we have 8 and we're squaring it, we get 64. And we have m cubed and we're squaring that. It's really m to the 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. M to the 6. And then we just rewrite the next term exactly as it was. We haven't done anything with it yet. And once we go through and we evaluate, we take 1/2 of 64, which is 32, and then we multiply that with 8, which should give us 256. And then we take the y. There's no y in this term, the middle term, so we'll just leave the other y as it is, y to the 5th. And then we do with the m's, m to the 6th times m to the 3rd. We just add the exponents. 6 plus 3 is 9, m to the 9th. Area equals 256, y to the 5th, m to the 9th. Volume, number 11, volume. For a cube, it's just taking one of the measurements and then cubing it. We take the known measure, which is negative 9kx cubed. All of that, we're cubing it. And that should give us negative 9 cubed, k cubed, and x to the, we multiply 3 and 3 and we get 9. Negative 9 cubed k to the 3rd, x to the 9th. This part right here, negative 9 cubed, you can just put it in the calculator and you'll get a number that will go in front of k to the 3rd and x to the 9th.